Alright guys, in this one I want to go over a gun that isn't getting talked about a lot, but actually has an insane amount of synergy when you pair it with a Stasis subclass. You guys really seem to enjoy my breakdown of the weapons that I thought pair best with all the brand new 3.0 subclasses, so I figured in this one I would take another weapon that's very unique and go over it, and maybe I can make this into a series for you all. Now don't get me wrong, I have seen some other content creators and some players in general talk about this SMG I want to go over today, but I have not seen anybody mention how potent this can be if you actually pair everything together. So if we just jump right into it, the SMG I want to talk about is the Bloody Feud. This is the brand new seasonal SMG that you can get from doing all the brand new seasonal content, and this is craftable once you get 5 red borders, so you can get the got roll. But when talking about this weapon, the first thing we need to go over is its origin trait. So the origin trait is called Right Hook. Dealing melee damage gives this weapon increased target acquisition and range for a short period of time. Dealing melee damage again extends the effect. So this perk is very simple. You get a melee kill, you're going to get more range of target acquisition. That's very good in PvP, and it's also not even bad in PvE. You are getting some nice benefits just to hit your targets a little bit further away since it is an SMG. But since this origin trait is based all around your melee, if we actually come over to D2 Gunsmith and take a look at some of its perks, the synergy on this is just ridiculous. It has perks like Swashbuckler. So this is a perk when you get a melee kill, you basically get 5 times stacks of a damage increase, which equals to 33% damage. Or if you just get a gun kill, you get 1 stack. But obviously getting a melee kill is more effective because you get to max stacks very fast. That will also proc your right hook, so you get more range and target acquisition. And you even have perks like Grave Robber, so your gun will reload when you get a melee kill. So getting a melee does a lot for this gun. This roll right here alone is already very good, but for this video, I actually want to talk about Pugilist. This is a brand new perk that is essentially Demolitionist, but for your melee, and when you get kills, you're just going to restore melee energy. Obviously, since the origin trait is playing heavily into melee, being able to get your actual melee charge back faster is going to be really good, because most melee abilities in this game do have range attacks, so you can actually proc it from further away, which is very, very nice. Now, if we hop back over to the game, we can actually take a look at our Stasis subclass. This has the fragment called Whisper of Hedrons. Dramatically increases weapon stability, weapon aim assist, weapon airborne effectiveness, mobility, resilience, and recovery after freezing a target with stasis. So this is going to be very, very good because you're now getting more stability, aim assist, and airborne effectiveness. And I'm pretty sure the mobility, resilience, and recovery actually gives you an additional 60, which is just ridiculous, just every time you freeze a target. So now if you freeze the enemy alongside getting a right hook proc, you're getting more stability, range, target acquisition, airborne effectiveness, and even more aim assist, which is just a lot of stat increases obviously for one gun for just getting 1 freeze and 1 melee. Now what's really cool, because if you pair this with the Warlock, their melee ability is Penumbral Blast. So raise your stasis staff against your foe, send a blast of stasis forward to freeze your targets. So this will proc your right hook, and what's really cool is since this is an AoE, it will actually proc your right hook multiple times, because if you remember, the origin trait does say if you basically melee an enemy again, it extends the duration. So if you hit a couple people with 1 ice staff, you get max stacks of right hook, and you're also going to freeze the enemy, which will give you Whisper of Hedrons procced. Now you can run this on any class. It does work the best on the Warlock because of Penumbral Blast, but even if you take the aspect from the Titan, can you slide melee up, basically make stasis crystals with their melee, freeze the enemies, that could work if it does pair with that. And Hunters, I guess, with the 2 shurikens could kind of work, but obviously the Warlock just makes it very simple. Now, another thing on the Warlock is Ice Throw Bolts. So when you shatter a frozen target, it's actually going to spawn little seekers that track out and freeze other enemies, which will reproc Whisper of Hedrons again. So if we take a look at D2 Gunsmith again, as you see, you basically can throw your melee out, hit a lot of people with your Penumbral Blast, and then since they're all froze, you're going to get right hook procced and Whisper of Hedrons, and the Pugilist is going to give you that Penumbral Blast back a lot faster than if you didn't have it. What is also cool is that if you do get a kill, Swashbuckler will give you a damage increase, and with all that combined together, you're basically taking every stat on this weapon and just increasing it dramatically. And since this is a 750 round per minute SMG, it actually is very good in both PvE and PvP, and you can take advantage of all this together. Now, another thing is that you can also take things like melee well makers. So whenever you actually kill an enemy with Penumbral Blast, you will spawn stasis elemental wells, and since this is a stasis weapon, you will also be able to get a damage increase since you're already running the stasis subclass with things like Font of Might. So there's a bunch of crazy combinations you can do. Essentially, the TLDR is just throw your Penumbral Blast. You're getting infinite more stats on this weapon, like literally every category other than things like handling and reload speed. Literally everything else is getting increased just by an insane amount. You can even start taking in mods with this as well, so you can get, you know, more damage since this is a stasis weapon and you're going to be playing a stasis subclass. And you can just see everything added up together will just make this thing ridiculous. I will be trying to craft this weapon once I get all the red borders for it, and I definitely think it is something you all should look out for too. But that is going to do it all for this video. Let me know what you think about the Bloody Feud in the comments below. This staying on its own is a very good SMG, and it also just looks extremely cool as well. It has a bunch of good perk combinations, but this one is definitely the most unique since it is playing heavily into that origin trait, and you can get a bunch of additional benefits for the weapon. But if you guys did enjoy and want to see more content just like this, consider subscribing, dropping a like, and turn those notifications on. Also, if you'd like to join my Discord or follow me on any of my socials, all of that will be linked in the description below. But just know watching this video is way more than enough. Every single bit of support from you all is truly appreciated, but thank you all so much for watching this one, and have a great day. Peace.